Senior defense officials tell Fox they strongly suspect Russia was behind a cyber attack on the chairman of the Joint Chiefs Office emails. This comes in the wake of the director of national intelligence blaming the Chinese for the largest ever cyber attack, stealing personal data of tens of millions of Americans. Senator Cruz, in your view, have Russia and China committed acts of cyber war? And if you were president, what would you do about it?
Well, Brett, of course they have. And over the last 6.5 years, we've seen the consequences of the Obama-Clinton foreign policy. Leading from behind is a disaster. We have abandoned and alienated our friends and allies, and our enemies are stronger. Radical Islam is on the rise. Iran's on the verge of acquiring a nuclear weapon. China is waging cyber warfare against America. Russia, General Soleimani, you just mentioned, the Iranian general, is the head of the Al-Quds forces. He's directly responsible for the murder of over 500 American servicemen in Iraq. And part of this Iranian deal was lifting the international sanctions on General Soleimani. The day General Soleimani flew back from Moscow to Iran was the day we believe that Russia used cyber warfare against the Joint Chiefs. We need a new commander-in-chief that will stand up to our enemies and that will have credibility. It is worth emphasizing that Iran released our hostages in 1981, the day Ronald Reagan was sworn into office.
Hi, I'm Henry Gomez with the Northeast Ohio Media Group. Suppose I'd told you 2 months ago that none of the 3 men Ohio Governor John Kasich saw as his chief rivals for the Republican presidential nomination would enter Wednesday night's debate at the Reagan Library in first place. First, you'd be stunned. Then, you might think that Kasich would, by this point in time, be the White House hopeful to beat. And you would be wrong. All eyes will again be on Donald Trump, the unpredictable and unapologetic real estate mogul who is leading every poll that matters right now. People also will be watching Dr. Ben Carson, another anti-establishment candidate who has rocketed to second place nationally and in the key early states of Iowa and New Hampshire. The biggest target will be on Trump's back. But Kasich and his advisors are bracing for an attack, and here's why. For starters, Kasich has shown improvement where the big 3 have plunged, or in the case of Rubio, failed to capitalize on the stumbles of others. Secondly, conventional wisdom says Trump and Carson are can't-win contenders who voters will flirt with before settling down with a nice candidate they can take home to mom. In this case, Bush can't afford losing to Kasich in New Hampshire, Rubio can't afford to let Kasich leapfrog him as the Bush alternative, and Walker can't afford to let Kasich leapfrog him as the reform-minded Midwest governor of choice. John Weaver, Kasich's chief strategist, told me Monday that he expects someone to throw an elbow Wednesday night. Of the big 3, keep an eye on Scott Walker. The Wisconsin governor's campaign has suffered the most in the polls, and his advisors have indicated he will be eager to draw contrasts with his GOP rivals. One area where Walker could attempt to draw a distinction, Obamacare. Walker rejected the program's Medicaid expansion while Kasich embraced it as an opportunity to bring back federal dollars to Ohio and to help the poor. And here's where Walker could run into some trouble. Though he rejected the Medicaid expansion portion of Obamacare, his alternative pushed other Wisconsinites into Obamacare's marketplace. Put another way, Kasich may have embraced Obamacare, but so did Walker. I know you are, but what am I? It's the classic retort of our political discourse. We'll have a lot to watch at Wednesday night's debate.